talk to us about this initiative, we're joined via Skype by Sing with Sundowns Challenge Campaign Ambassador Andile Ncube. Andile, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. The 20th of May has been given as the deadline for submission, so not much time left.
Very good afternoon. It's morning to you and the entire team, and a happy Mandela Day weekend. The 20th is just for this month. Every single month, there's a winner that's awarded in the different 13 language categories for the Mamelodi Sundowns Sing with Sundowns competition. So every month, there'll be winners, and ultimately, at the end of the year, there'll be one winner that walks away with R1 million. So if you don't make it for the entries for this month, keep pounding, keep working, keep at it, and maybe you'll make it in for next month.
So what constitutes a Sundowns song?
Well, I mean, you're going to have to be very creative, because if you take a look at the spectrum of music and stadiums at the moment, Mamelodi Sundowns currently in the lead with the very famous Kabu Yelo, which, echoes around South African stadiums every weekend. There's also Uno No, which was then popularized by Untando as well when he sang at Busi Nova, also took a part of soccer history and made it into a song. So you're going to have to get into the spectrum of that and embody everything that Sundowns is. It's a winning team, it's a caring team, it's a giving community and family as well. So you're going to take all that Sundowns is, put it into a song, and who knows, you could be a millionaire.
So the potential people who are going to send through their submissions, what should they keep in mind in terms of style, genre, the kind of quality that's expected?
Music is one of those things that, like art, cannot be judged or cannot be questioned upon its inception and making. Like art, it's in the heart, the mind of whomever it is that is making it. So all I can say to you as advice is, when you are sitting in those stands as a fan, do you hear yourself singing the song? Do you hear millions of South Africans and Africans? The Sundowns has grown to be an African team that is celebrated across the continent. Do you hear the echoes of your creation throughout the African continent? And that's what you got to think of. You got to think of something that embodies who we are as South Africans, that embodies who Sundowns is. You got to be honest and true to yourself, and then sit down and pen something that you can hear as an anthem of not just Mamelodi Sundowns football. Yes, it'll be used and channeled through Sundowns, but as an echo and an anthem of South Africa and its football and musical nation. That's all I can say to you. Because when you think back, I mean, the likes of the late Robbie Maringa was great at doing the exact same thing at Orlando Pirates. And you could go on in time to so many artists that have given. Benny McCarthy and TKZ, remember what they did with Bafana Bafana?
Shibobo.
So those are some of the references that you...
Tell us now, you say there are monthly winners. Have you chosen previous winners? Give us a sense of the submissions that they've sent through.
Well, I mean, we've heard some crazy songs from family groups, from individuals, from church groups even, because even that's allowed. But what's really, really exciting about this, Desiree, is South Africa has 11 languages that always exclude the other two. When you say that, there's 2 languages of the Khoisan as well, Tu and Kwe, that are included in this. So hearing things that have come from those 2 in particular, for me, have been amazing, because it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. I remember as a young boy growing up, in the Bundus of Umzinkulu, I'd listen to R&B songs with no idea of what the lyrics meant, but I'd sing along with Boys to Men. And music is universal in that way. And that's what's been exciting for me, those kinds of sounds and learning something new as well. Don't be scared to share something that you think people aren't aware of, because it doesn't sound too much like what's happening in the urban scene at the moment. It shouldn't matter. If you feel that's a song that will resonate, you never know.
Is the competition restricted to club supporters, or can anyone enter?
No, it's not. Mamelodi Sundowns, through the Sundowns Foundation, has been for a very long time, done more than just football. We've been a social conscious to everything South African. If you think about Miss Mamelodi Sundowns, you don't have to be a Mamelodi Sundowns supporter to enter that. It's a way that Sundowns is sharing with young women and empowering young women. It's the second best, if not the best competition, right alongside Miss South Africa. That here as well, if you're a football fan, if you're a music lover, music maker, creator, if you're a South African, it does not matter what else after that. You can be a Chiefs, a Pirates. You know, if you remember when Sundowns won the Champions League, they came back to South Africa, and all of us, regardless of who we support, celebrated with them. So put yourself in that instance. When Sundowns do win once again, because they will, the Champions League, it's a song that you as a Chiefs or Pirates fan can sing along to. 1 million rands at the end of this, but 30,000 rands every month to 11 different languages, and 7,000 rand to you and I for just voting.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the prizes, but you just outlined them there. But you are known as Mr. Magic Maker. One of our biggest successes in the country, Bonang Mateba, always credits you for her success. What's your role in this whole process? And what do you think of Bonang's rise to fame, by the way? That's just not stopping.
That is such a huge compliment, but it's one that even when she gives it, I don't take, Desiree, because I've always believed that talent is like water in your hand. It doesn't matter what you do. At some point, it needs to come out. I was just a vessel to which was, being blessed with grooming it and unearthing her. I truly, truly believe that everything she is was coming and becoming of who she was supposed to be. And I love her to bits. I was recently with her at Mamelodi Sundowns' funeral, and we shared some good laughs. I'm a huge fan more than anything. But, like the postman doesn't celebrate every time he delivers the post. A teacher does not get, a statue made of them every time a child passes matric. I believe that it is your job to do so, and it was mine to do so and pass it on to her. And many that came after her, the Minis, the Lutandos, and so many more that use the platform that I had created in live to find bread and the success of themselves. I think, and I've said this to her so many times, that South Africa has become a fish pond for her. I'd love to see her go global. I'd love to see her in the ocean swimming with the sharks, because I do honestly believe that she's one of the best around the globe when it comes to hosting.
In terms of your role in this process?
Well, my role in this process is coming from music and now working in football. I think I have a good sense of the balance between the two. And I'm enjoying just listening to the music as well, but passing on the message. Because it's not just about the music. It's not just about, the Sing with Mamelodi Sundowns, which, by the way, go to www.sundownsfc.co.za to get all the details and all your entries. But more than that, it's the social message as well, to say the music industry has been one of the hardest hits, the entertainment industry as a whole, the hardest hit by COVID-19. And this is a social message and construct to say, you are not alone, and here's something for you to do. You're not sitting in your back room unable to create and unable to make a living for yourself. Here's an opportunity to channel your energies into something, to get out of the depression that this has left you in and put your energies into something. So it's a combination of all of those things working in acquiescence to be able to aid us to help and assist the most hardest hit industry with COVID-19.
So Andile, you're not just a success story in South Africa, you within the youth segment, which is very important in terms of finding solutions for the country going forward. But you're also doing quite well. How do we, in terms of using, you're also considered an influential person. How do we use that platform you have to encourage young people in the country to become?
It's the smallest things, but more than that, Deja, and I think you know this as well, the best leaders, the best front runners are the ones that say little but do much. And I'm a true believer in that. You've got to lead by example. We've got to see your actions. They speak louder than any words you could ever utter. Kansas City, whom I grew up listening to, what was then Radio Zulu, now Khosi FM, would speak during his links in music up until the song was just about to start, because he always felt that you must always, every time you get an opportunity to speak, know that there's somebody out there who's listening who might need that lifeline. This very interview that you and I have been blessed to be a part of, somebody's listening to this and they could grab something out of this. So don't beat your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram. Make sure that all that you do is an aid for somebody else. One person might be listening and watching that need to hear these words from you. So don't take it as a, just a fluent thing that will move on. Make sure that with every opportunity you get to speak to people, they understand, they hear you, and you empower. Mamelodi Sundowns, through the Sundowns Foundation and the grace of the Mutsipes and the Mutsipe Foundation as well, has done so much in showing and leading in that example. It's not, the President Patrice Mutsipe you're seeing out here. He's empowered me to be able to empower you to do this. So the front runners, it's within you to lead.
Just a quick one before we end our conversation. How are you traversing the COVID-19 time in terms of thinking ahead of what the Andile Ncube brand is going to be beyond COVID-19? Of course, combined with the big projects that you're working on, including the Mamelodi Sundowns project.
I think it's about time we as a country lose the term third world country. I think, yes, the world can term us that, but in our thinking, we've got to think of ourselves as first world. We've got to be able to empower ourselves in that way. So the easiest thing to do, one of the simplest things to do, is technology is your friend. We're able to do this interview right now. It didn't cost me as much as getting into my car, driving to you, perhaps even getting a new tie in order to sit next to, prestige such as yourself. I think we need to embrace technology. And it's not available to everyone, but those that can share in this fourth industrial generation, which people don't even know what the fourth industrial revolution is. But let's get into that. Let's not let our minds be watered down by the stigma of us being a third world country. Let's learn new things. Let's get into technology and let's learn it. Let it be the way that we as Africans are able to.
Final and quick one. How do people enter the competition?
www.sundownsfc.co.za. All that you need to know will be on there. Thank you so much, Des. I'm honored to be sitting next to you, across from you.
Absolutely enjoyed the conversation. Andile Ncube there. All right, let's continue.